Well, if oil prices are now jumping to 117 a barrel, this is going to have massive impacts for a lot of parts of the economy. And the reason over the weekend they jumped to about 117, the future is going to 125, is because the EU just issued their 6th round of sanctions on Russia ever since it invaded Ukraine, to the point where now 90% of Russian crude oil is going to be banned by the end of the year. So, I mean, Tom, let's continue with what you were saying. Is this ban actually going to stop any of the stuff that's going on in Russia, Ukraine, as oil prices are going to go down? How do we deal with rising oil prices now, or gas prices at the pump?
By the way, I just looked on CNBC. Since you did the intro, the price of oil went up by another 5%.
Wow.
As you were doing your monologue. I'm just kidding, of course. But that's pretty much the pace we're going at right now. So let me clarify what's going on here. I don't think that we should not punish Putin. I think Putin should be punished severely. I just think we shouldn't punish him where it hurts us and not him. He can still sell his oil to India, to China, to Brazil, to other countries who would gladly buy it for cheaper because we don't want to buy it. The problem is that we're punishing ourselves. Now, even though the US does not have a supply problem because we have plenty of oil for ourselves from Canada, from Mexico, whatever, it's a global pricing market. So when you take out the third biggest producer of oil, and make no mistakes about it, Russia is the third biggest producer of oil in the world. You take out this piece from the market, you've created a massive pricing pressure upwards. So these sanctions essentially are helping nobody but Putin. Putin is making more money by selling his oil to his compadres in India and China. We're screwed because now the global pricing for oil is obviously going up, and these sanctions that we keep levying on him are only hurting ourselves. Because look at what's going on. The price point of oil is just going through the roof. Now, here's the problem. Why I don't think that it's entirely on Putin here. So the problem is that the entity that was supposed to control this and prevent this from happening is OPEC. Unfortunately, our life is at the hands of a cartel, believe it or not. This is like 2022. So the oil cartel was supposed to prevent this from happening because we have a good relationship with them and they don't want the prices to go too high to not collapse the demand. But $115, $120 is still sustainable. It's the sweet spot for them to make endless amounts of money, and we can still afford it to a point. And they have now zero relationship with Biden. Biden and the MBS, the Saudi prince, are pretty much in non-speaking terms. So now the Saudis is weaponizing OPEC, basically saying, hey, it's your mess, Biden. You're going to clean it up on yourself. After we didn't support them in Yemen, we didn't support them with the journalists, we didn't support them with Iran, trying to get a deal done with Iran, their arch nemesis. So now we're paying the price. So unfortunately, it's not Putin's fault. There's a multitude of factors that's leading to this. 85% of them is our fault.
When you say that it's not, what is not Putin's fault?
Oil prices. Why oil prices going up? Let's talk about it for a second. I'll cede my time for the next segment. Why are oil prices going up? Realistically, they've been going up before Putin invaded into Ukraine. They went up by 30% since December until February. But
you can't deny that the Ukrainian issue is a factor,
obviously,
right?
Yes.
It's like $20, $30.
No. I'll make my point. It's making things worse. Make no mistakes about it. It's a very bad catalyst, but it's amplifying an existing trend. Now, the prices of oil were on the up and up before even talks of the Ukraine war actually started, and it was going up quite severely. Why? Because of these secular trends, reopening, summer's coming up, more travel. Now that we're reopening, there's more demand. While for the past 2 years, capex into the industry went to zero because nobody wanted to invest in oil production because of the prices were so low, and it takes 3 years for the cycle to restart. So restarting the oil industry to actually provide this capacity we need now is going to take a few years. So we've created a backlog. Now, on top of this backlog, now we have geopolitical issues, which are always introducing some increased price pressures. And on top of that, we're just sanctioned the third biggest producer from providing oil to us. So it's a self-inflicted wound combined with post-pandemic reopening trends and lack of investment and sanctioning Venezuela and Iran, which basically leads to the inability of us to find anywhere supplies. I'm not even sure OPEC have more supplies to give to us. Even if Mohammed bin Salman wanted to give us more oil, I'm not even sure they have the capacity now because of the low investments of the past 2 years into production.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that a lot of this is structural with underinvestment over the past maybe decade, right? With this ESG push and everything.
Yep.
So I think
ESG scam, you mean? ESG scam. Let's put it correctly.
But yeah, like I think Ukraine definitely, and Putin is at fault for $20-30 of that 118, 119 a barrel.
But I had $20 per barrel. We would be at 100 regardless of Putin right now. You would agree with me, right?
I don't know. Like, I don't think anybody knows. But yeah, whatever it feels like, 100, maybe 90, who knows? We would still be at elevated oil. So I think just to wrap the segment up is Tom and I both agree that energy prices are going to remain elevated, right? For the foreseeable future. Do you agree with that?
The government does not agree with you. So the government actually came out with a short report about 2 weeks ago. So the Federal Agency for Energy Statistics came out with the prediction for the prices. I'm going to read from the report because I used it for my video earlier. And basically they're saying that over the course of the next 2 years, 2022 is going to close out with an average of $102 per barrel. And 2023 will close out at $92 per barrel.
And what's the logic for this? Why is it going to go down?
The logic of this, that they fucking have no idea what's going on. Even in their report, they're saying, well, these prices are based to change or geopolitical pressures and pandemic and blah, blah, blah. Basically, corporate talk for we don't know what we're talking about. And whenever a government tells you something is going to happen, statistically, it's 99% the opposite is going to happen. So when the government tells you oil prices going down, usually it's the opposite.
All right. Well, we will see what happens by the end of the year. If prices do go down to 102 a barrel, hopefully the current rally we are seeing might have some legitimacy to it because the market might get excited if oil prices go down.